Howdy there. Problem practice for this hack. How can you quickly automate targeted emails that allow you to loop in the right people around regular occurrences like behavior incidents, absences, attendance at after school, tutoring, etc. There's a ton of these dynamic situations at schools where being able to account for where students were, what they did, and what follow-up is needed simply tends to fall through the cracks in a lot of school environments. So we've developed a script that's going to allow us to design automated feedback loops, if you will, that draw people in via email communication and Google Forms, entirely free. And here is a lovely process diagram that was created by a school that's part of a group developing these scripts. This is New Design High School, and this diagram was by a teacher there by the name of David Rothhauser. And what you'll see is that they wanted to figure out a better way of dealing with behavior incidents and removals from class. They wanted a really easy way for a teacher to notify what they call their wellness center. So the wellness center is kind of like a holding tank, but it's framed around helping students who are not able to be in class at any given moment, either for a health reason or for a behavior reason. So it's staffed with someone who has counseling skills and mediation skills. And so they have developed a plan to allow students to be removed from class via a simple phone call or text message. Student arrives at the wellness center, and then the wellness center staff actually uses a Google form to log the arrival of the student. And when that arrival is logged, 2 emails go out. So an email goes out to the class period teacher that the student was sent away from, and that email is going to contain a pre-slugged or a link to a pre-slugged form. So the follow-up that needs to occur, where the teacher needs to write up exactly what happened in the incident, is going to be something that the teacher is asked to do after the fact. And they're going to be asked to do it in a Google form. And by pre-slugged, what I mean is that the value for the student name and certain other fields are going to be actually automatically filled in the link. So it'll make it easier for the teacher to fill that out. And the second email that goes out is to the student's advisor, letting them know that something occurred that period and that they should follow up. So it helps to tighten up the communications channels. And this is a school that has something called advisory, which means that every student is in a small group with one adult in the school who takes kind of a primary responsibility for tracking how the student's doing, keeping up to date with school-home communications, etc. So the tracking of all of this is going to happen in Google Spreadsheets and Google Charts. And this will give the school an ability to see over time any trends or patterns to help be smarter in the way they allocate resources and help specific teachers. So the script that we're going to use is something we developed called the formmule, aka the Mule. We call it the Mule because it's a workhorse. It's can hook up to a form and essentially turns the form into like a nexus of communication that includes all kinds of automated emails. And so here's what a Google form looks like. And you can imagine this is a teacher in the wellness center, in this case letting me know that a student has been removed from their first period class, and the teacher's name is there. This form submission comes in, and the formule script is running in this log. Now we're going to run through basic installation steps. So you'll see the formula script will have added this extra menu to the spreadsheet environment. But let's first look at how we actually install it. So you're going to take the script that's attached to the screencast. You're going to go into the Tools menu in your spreadsheet and go to the Script Editor. Script Editor looks like this. You're going to paste over anything that's there, paste in the formula script, and save it with a name. And then you're going to set up what's called a trigger. So a trigger is basically a rule inside of your Google Apps script environment that is going to fire off whenever a certain thing happens. In this case, we want to set up a rule for the function called onFormSubmit. onFormSubmit is going to set this whole script in motion and fire off an email automatically whenever a new form entry comes in. So you're going to select onFormSubmit. You're going to set it to happen from the spreadsheet, and in the last column you're going to want to make sure that you choose onFormSubmit. Once that's set, you're going to go ahead and back into your Run menu in the script editor, and you're going to select the onOpen script. And you need to run this once in order to authorize the script. So you're going to run it using the little play arrow, and you'll get a little pop-up that asks you to authorize the script. Click Authorize, and you will now have that extra menu item in your spreadsheet environment. Now, the way this works is when you create a Google form, it puts gray headers and bold header titles. Next to those headers, we're going to want to create whatever additional headers we need to set this system in motion. So for the purposes of this system, we wanted to have the teacher email address. We wanted to have the advisor, the name. We wanted to have the email of the advisor, and then we wanted to pull the student name so that we could create our pre-slugged form link. So we created custom headers for each of these. Now, the way we're going to accomplish this is we're going to first go into the formule settings menu. So under formule, you'll see formule settings. What this is going to do is let us choose which columns we want to take formulas from and copy them down whenever a form comes in. One of the limitations of forms is when they do come in, any spreadsheet formulas that you've set up in columns next to the form entries do not automatically copy down. And so systems built this way would typically fall apart. What this does is it automates the copying down of any formulas. And turns out we're going to use formulas to run a bunch of lookups. Let's see what that looks like. So once we choose the columns that we want to copy down from, you'll see that they turn yellow and they get a little comment in them. And then there's an additional column that is in black and white that is going to be used to keep track of which emails have been sent by the script. And you'll see in the case of new design, we went in and entered VLOOKUP formulas. If you don't know about VLOOKUP, I'll provide a link in this underneath this hack leading you to some learning resources. But VLOOKUP is extremely useful. What this is going to do is it's going to look at the student name, or in this case the teacher name, and it's going to go into a teacher contact sheet, and it's going to look based on the teacher name and pull back in their email address. And this is handy because you wouldn't want this to be in your form. It'd be too cumbersome to have to remember every teacher's email address when you submit these removal log entries. Instead, we're going to have a VLOOKUP formula do it. And we do that, in this case, by embedding another sheet in the spreadsheet that contains both the teacher contact information and the student contact information. Another thing we're going to do with formulas is we're going to build pre-slugged form URLs. And this is a little bit complicated the first time you run through it, but there's a whole technique for getting forms to contain pre-populated values. And this is another really neat technique that helps save time and grease the wheels so that teachers are more likely to use these systems. So what you'll see when you click on a pre-populated form link is that it automatically fills in this case, a specific selection under type of log, and it actually pre-selects the student name. Another thing you can do with this script is keep track of what's called a case number. If you select a checkbox in settings, you can have it insert a unique case number for every single form entry that comes in. This can be really useful if you want to run a cross-reference to something else, or you want to follow up on a particular case. It allows you to give each case a specific and unique number. The next thing we're going to do once we've put our formulas in that we want copied down is we're going to set up the number of different unique email templates that we want to send out. So the second menu item under formule is to set email options, and we're going to for now just select one. In the case of new design, we actually are sending out two unique emails, one to the advisor letting them know that the class removal happened, and another to the actual class period teacher, which is where they get the pre-slugged form link. Once you submit the email settings menu, you'll see the formmule script automatically generates an email template. And you'll see that everything that's framed in yellow is giving you directions, and the 4 required fields, or in the case of CC, it's optional. You can use the tags below under currently available tags to construct essentially a mail merge style email. And here's an example where we are grabbing the teacher email. Again, the teacher email has been populated through a VLOOKUP formula in the main sheet, and then you can see all these additional fields are being used to customize the outbound email. So you'll notice once you're testing it, the white columns here, the white headers, are all custom columns. They're columns that contain formulas in row 2. And I've just submitted a removal log entry for a student, and you'll see all the formulas have successfully copied down and properly looked up the advisor name, the advisor email, etc., and generated a pre-slugged link to a form that is going to be sent out in emails. And then the email sent column is showing me the status of whether the email was sent or not. And when multiple emails send, it'll say email 1 and email 2 and email 3 sent to, and it'll tell you who they sent to. So it's a nice detailed status message. So this is a hugely helpful building block, again, for any kind of a system in a school environment where you want to be able to get multiple people in the loop around a particular either student issue or administrative issue. Can be very flexible, and we hope you pick it up and try it. The script was written by me, Andrew Stillman, working for New Visions for Public Schools in New York City. And if you need support, you can post comments at upd.org for Mule. Hope that's helpful. Thanks a lot.